Good morning, all you lovely people. It has been quite a while since I posted a video, but that is for the number one reason of school. School takes a lot of effort and time and attention, and it is more important, unfortunately, than YouTube, but that's okay. I want to make this video because of school. I hear a lot of different things on YouTube as well as just circulating around the area where I live about a lot of confusion about psychology degrees, and what psychology degrees are used for and how do you use them and what type of jobs are related to it. So I want to share a bit about my background and also kind of clarify a few things. Also, I'm not a therapist yet. I am a therapist in training. I'm a graduate student and I'm working on my licensure, but I'm not there yet. We are all on this journey together. Okay, so I do have my bachelor's, but I'm working on my master's degree. And something that I have found out many people get confused about is mostly if you get a bachelor's in psychology as your major, as your first, like your major degree, even if you have something behind it, you usually typically are going to be looking at a higher degree that goes along with it. And there's not as many jobs that you can get that will have the satisfaction, the financial support, or really be sustainable unless it's really a good fit for you long term. The reason why I say that is because most of those are, and highest respect to these people who can do this, are case managers, people who are working with ABA, all of that. And I think that's a tremendously needed field and an amazing job for those who are really good at it. I know personally that would not make me satisfied long term. Okay, so with this idea, psychology degrees, they need to be looked at more so as at least a master's, if not a doctorate level. Basically becoming a doctor in psychology, also known as mental health. But holistically, really, it is a biopsychosocial environment just because of how complex we as people are. So with working on that, I think people get kind of confused about the entire process of becoming a licensed therapist. Really depends on your own state, right? And you don't even have to become a licensed therapist. You can go into different fields. But think of it really just like becoming a doctor, honestly. Whether it's a doctor, you know how many fields there are to become doctors. You can become a surgeon, you become medicine, you can become GYON. Sorry, I totally butchered that. So if you are younger or older, but you are going into the direction of psychology, and you're not exactly sure what that field looks like, the best promising, least most cost effective that I have found yet would be to become a licensed mental health therapist. Now, the school is mentally draining. It is emotionally draining. And it's actually more interesting than I found the bachelor's level, but that's what you're going to be going into. And it's very fulfilling, even in the point of direction where I am. But please do know that if you are going into a psychology degree, you're most likely going to be looking at a master's or doctorate degree for that job itself. So I just kind of wanted to clarify that because a lot of people I find get really kind of confused on that. So the next thing I wanted to bring up when it comes to mental health, and I think this is becoming more of an understood subject, and like I said before, I'm not a therapist yet, okay? So if your therapist is saying something else, or if you have higher up credentials telling you something else, please disregard everything I said because I'm not accredited or licensed yet. But mental health is very individual, okay? And it's not just for those who struggle ceaselessly. What I mean by that is, it's just like, think of it just like going to a doctor. You go to a doctor sometimes yearly just for a yearly physical, right? So mental health's kind of the same way. And nowadays with social media, and I mean, we hear everyone saying that, but the reason why I say that is because different social media platforms really do play into our minds, really do play into how we view life, how we view other things. And I want to be careful when it comes to addressing social media online just because it can be so particular. There's a lot of different good psychologists online, but life goes up and down when it comes to our mental health. And I think there's a balance that needs to occur. A lot of people say take a fast from social media, take a fast from this or that. And I find it goes from one extreme to the next. So I feel like I'm about to kind of like touch into another video, so I want to restrain myself back a little bit, as this was mostly to discuss the actual what you should be looking into to become a mental health therapist. But like I just said, when you are becoming a mental health therapist, a lot of your understanding is to kind of understand your own mental health and get your own mental health and physical health, and kind of advocate for that, kind of showcase that. Technically doesn't mean we're perfect. We're definitely not perfect. It takes one to know one. But I see a lot of different mental health going on online on YouTube, especially in the fitness community and other communities as well. So all to like recap everything. Please do note, if you are going into psychology, good for you. It is an awesome field, and I really do think that there are some people who are very meant for psychology, honestly. I think personality factors and personality types really are a real thing. They're very researched, backed up by research, and you're very much needed and can be used incredibly in the field. It does take time, and it does take effort, and you need a lot of support in order to get yourself through the program, because it is time consuming, it does take a lot of energy, and it is emotionally and mentally and psychologically draining. There's a lot of times where you want to cry. But have a long-term idea when it comes to psychology and going into that direction, such as getting a master's or a doctorate. I'm going to be making more videos off and on due to school and getting my license, but I want to make some videos in the near future, so please subscribe, like, comment for the algorithm. You know how YouTube works. I would greatly appreciate it. And if you have any questions related to psychology or physiology, I'm not a physiologist, but I do love exercise, and I am a marathon runner, so I would love to make videos about that. Alright, you guys have an awesome day. Thank you so much for watching the entire video, or most of it. Please comment for the algorithm, as well as subscribe to my channel, and I'll see you guys next time.